once this one is all said and done, and it has turned out to be a good one. We will take you out to Pasadena. The great Keith Jackson and the Pro Football Hall of Famer Dan Fouts have the call in this one. They'll provide you post-game extra once this one is all over, and once they're done, we'll take you inside the news conference rooms to the podium. Both coaches will address the media, and you can see and hear it all right here on ESPN News. We have an update from the Rose Bowl. USC taking the lead or extending the lead on a Reggie Bush touchdown. David Pino coming right back. 34-yard field goal is good. So the Longhorns climb within 5 with 8 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Over 93,000 in attendance at the Rose Bowl watching a good one. This game seems to be going right down to the wire. USC about to take control, and we'll continue to give you highlights and updates throughout the night. Folks, we have another update from Pasadena, and this game is turning into the scoring fest that we thought it would be. Fourth quarter, USC up 5. Leinart drills it to Dwayne Jarrett. He's in for a 22-yard score. 2 Texas players down on the play. Michael Griffin, Terrell Brown, both down and walking off the field gingerly. Jarrett's touchdown, his 16th TD catch of the season. That ties the USC record. It also leads the nation as the Trojans are just 6 minutes and change away from becoming the first team in history to win 3 consecutive national titles.
Stay close. Texas is 0-4 all-time against USC. A stat Vince Young is doing all he can to change. More than 150 yards on the ground for Young and a touch. Will it be enough in the granddaddy of them all? Highlights ahead.
Plenty more inside Sports Center. Back and forth battle for the national title. It lived up to the hype and more. We'll go right out to Rose Bowl live as soon as it's over. Rodney, I want you as a colleague here at ESPN. Yo, living up to all the hype. All of it. We're going live to Pasadena as soon as the Rose Bowl is over. Highlights and analysis, all of it. Long runs, hard hits, stars playing like stars. One of the best games you'll ever see going on right now. We'll go out live to Pasadena as soon as it's over.
Longhorns and Trojans in an epic battle at the Rose Bowl. They go back and forth on the field and on the scoreboard. Headed to Pasadena, minutes away.
Rarely does a game live up to the hype. Texas USC more than lived up. And USC's 34-game winning streak is done. The Longhorns are national champions. Wait till you see how Vince Young proved once again he is a straight-up man. Still ahead. It's all over but the cheering, the hugging, and the congratulating. Wait till you see how Texas beats USC in the Rose Bowl in a game that will go down as an instant classic. It might be going on ESPN Classic as we speak.
We are all set. As soon as possible, right now, to Chris Fowler.
Well, Stu, thanks. We're in a very noisy corner of the Rose Bowl, surrounded by burnt orange. Very happy Texas fans and the Texas band right over here. Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit alongside. Guys, we hope that this game might live up to half of the hype that's been piled on for 4 months, and especially for the last 35 days. I think the answer is yes. Both teams have been in this position before. Look at Pete Carroll, so relaxed. That's just a few minutes before the game on the sidelines over there, talking on the cell phone. Reggie Bush revved up to back up his Heisman Trophy, and of course, the other Heisman Trophy winner, Matt Leinart. First time one team had ever taken the field with 2. Vince Young motivated by the Heisman landslide for Bush. Matthew McConaughey, a big Texas fan on hand, and Marcus Allen, one of many former Trojan greats in the house. Well, Reggie Bush pumped up. Very first play from scrimmage. He would be stopped by a very inspired Texas defense. Trojans would go 3 and out. Not often when they go 3 and out in this game. Scott Ware, though, the big hit on Aaron Ross. Texas makes the first mistake of the game as the fine punt returner coughs up the football. USC back in business. And the Trojans would cash in, Lee.
And remember, USC
USC is the worst team in the nation on punt coverage, and they played great tonight.
But great at takeaways, and that would lead to this 7 points from Rendell White, who was running downhill, running hard all night.
Early in a game, in a championship game, with this kind of hype, it's important to try to take the lead and grab the momentum, and SC was able to do that after the turnover.
They had more momentum after the defense stepped up big. 4th and 1 just across midfield, and Selvin Young, who got the start tonight, stuffed by Scott Weir. USC gets the ball back. Now it's 4th and 1 for SC at the 16. Empty backfield, no deception, and Leinart is stuffed on the sneak.
You should have kept Reggie Bush in there, so he's going to push them.
Right. So a very low-scoring first quarter. We go to the second period here. There's Reggie Bush on the screen pass. But what is he thinking here? Watch Bush running deep in Texas territory, looking for Walker, number 48. The crazy pitch. The ball is loose. Texas comes up with it. USC was in total control into that play.
You know what happened here? Reggie Bush is trying to make a play, but obviously it was an errant pass back. But I'll tell you, Reggie Bush was not the same player, guys, after that play. He looked like a different guy with his energy and emotion because of that mistake the rest of the ball game.
It's kind of it's a Pop Warner play. Now back at Helix High School in San Diego, the play worked for Reggie. Here he is coming down the sideline, spun around. Flips it for a touchdown.
That's high school.
Yeah, that's
this is the national title.
And this is the Rose Bowl. You can see Leinart getting with Reggie after that turnover, trying to calm him down here. Vince Young will then take off. They begin to get revved up in this game.
That play right there pretty much is a capsule of what Vince Young was able to do throughout the entire night against this SC defense.
Settle for a field goal, 7-3 and USC driving. Leinart for the end zone. It's Michael Griffin, ruled incomplete. They almost get another playoff. Instead, the replay official finally comes in and rules good interception, touchback.
You know, that would have been a play for Southern Cal if they could have got back in the huddle. But they kept arguing, and they didn't call timeout.
But after that interception, Texas offense would get going. Vince Young beginning to take control. He flips the ball out just as he's going down to Selvin Young, who scores a touchdown. But wait a minute, was his knee down?
That's right, absolutely. ABC called it. His knee was down.
They did not review it.
They hurried to get the extra point kick before the review, and David Pino missed it. So it's 9-7 Texas at that point. Yeah, he's definitely down.
Great look at there.
But the Longhorns offense, when they went no huddle, went up tempo, really began to rev up in this game. The ensuing possession after the touchdown. Watch Raymond Taylor show the acceleration, 30 yards to the house, 16-7 Texas.
He's a poor man's Reggie Bush.
Yeah, Taylor got loose, but a great block by Lima Swede on Scott Ware downfield gave him a clean lane to the end zone.
So Texas has momentum and an important drive for USC late in the first half to try to get some points on the board. Leinart scrambling around.
Is this the hit?
Yeah, he gets hit real hard right here. Helmet to helmet. He would be knocked silly for a while. Much like the Arizona State game, he took some stitches but came back in. So they kick a field goal, 16-10 at halftime. In the third quarter, USC has been dominant, 70-7, outscoring opponents all year long. And Leinart, very sharp, spreading the ball around in the first couple of drives.
It started with his drive, Chris. You could see something in Matt Leinart, his delivery. They got the running game going, and it enabled him to settle down as a thrower because Lendale White made a big difference in the second half.
Watch the stiff arm as he just knocks the DB down.
Before the game, I said I didn't think he could do so well. I was wrong. That guy is even better in person.
Wow. He knocked a Thorpe Warfiner down with that stiff arm and then get to the end zone.
They went to a different offensive structure in that second half, and a lot of it had to do with Lendale White's running.
So USC answered, but Texas would answer right back. Jamal Charles scampering for 15 yards, the young guy, and then Vince Young on a 2nd and 4 play. He began to call his own number more and more in the second half.
There's the pressure we're talking about and what he does to a defense. If you sit back and you get blocked downfield, if you give him time to make plays, then he comes back and throws the football. It's nearly impossible to stop Vince Young and this offense that Greg Davis has put together.
It's Vince again. He's going to use a stiff arm here.
And gets
reaching for the pylon.
What he is,
3-17 Texas.
What he is a big Michael Vick.
Bigger and stronger.
6'5", 233.
Maybe just as fast.
So Texas retakes the lead, but USC would answer. Dwayne Jarrett, the big catch. He used a tight end well in this drive, too.
And when you run the football, it gives you a nice hole behind the linebackers between the safeties, which is what they try to expose.
There's Dominic Byrd, the catch, dragging tacklers down near the 10-yard line. And then Lendale White running hard on the all-time touchdown score for USC. Look at the burst. 24-23 USC. Next drive for Texas on 2nd and 9. Look at the run by Vince Young. Look at the acceleration right here. That's a fast defense he's running away from.
These are great athletes, and he's making them look like junior varsity players. I mean, that is amazing to see him in the open field.
David Pino was so clutch at Columbus, but he misses the 31-yarder, so it's still a 24-23 USC lead. So, Mac Brown's defense trying to step up, but it's Leinart to Jarrett on 3rd and 6. Little dart.
Nice, again, right in that area that I was talking about. Quick seam, trying to hit the seam to Jarrett.
On 3rd and 2. Running right up the gut like nobody has against Texas this year. Lendell White once more for the first down. And then watch Reggie Bush, the acceleration. He'd seen Lendell White score 3 touchdowns. Here goes number 5. White strikes down the sideline.
That was a nice compliment to what Lendell White was trying to do, is bounce in some speed. He bounced that one to the outside. They reviewed it, but gave him the touchdown.
So USC once again in control, but the Longhorns in the next possession. Young will find Jamar Charles, who drops it. USC pounces for the football. It's ruled incomplete. There were a number of controversial plays which replay didn't even solve in this game. Looked like a catch and a fumble.
That's one of those that you could really say it could go either way. And this time it went in favor of Texas to keep the ball.
Later in the drive, it's Billy Pittman collecting the nice throw right on line from Young. That would set up another field goal attempt, and this time David Pino would make good. So Leinart to David Kurtman. He's a forgotten member of this backfield. He had a nice ball game.
They slip it out to Kurtman. There's a 15-yard penalty added on to that with a late hit on Leinart. And all of a sudden, after the field goal, SC moving the ball the way they did, it seemed like momentum definitely favoring the Trojans.
Wayne Jarrett, the leap, the catch, and the stretch for the end zone. And USC would take a 12-point lead inside of 7 minutes to play. You can see that Brown, the defensive back for Texas, would be knocked out of the game with a broken arm.
And those 3 series, Matt Leinart was a great quarterback. On fire.
Yep.
Every single thing, Kirk and Chris, was right on target.
Then it was Vince Young's turn to catch fire. David Thomas, the tight end, brilliant tonight.
David Thomas, 10 catches on the night. Seemed to always be there for Vince Young when he needed to come up with a big completion.
Real urgency for Texas, down by 12. Young scrambling for 8 yards inside the USC 30.
If he got anything less than 8 yards, it was almost a shock.
Again, he decides to keep it here.
Look at the speed to the edge. Nobody can get back there. They're all covering receivers downfield, and he walks in.
So Texas inside of 4 minutes to go. Cuts it to 5. USC had scored touchdowns on all 4 second-half possessions. Could they make it 5? Lendell White fumbled the ball, came up short there. Now, Pete Carroll elects to go for it on 4th and 2 from the Texas 45. Controversial, to say the least. They don't get it.
This is one of the calls that will be second-guessed forever. I mean, not for a little while, ever in the history of the game.
It's easy to second-guess that. I personally like to call because the way Vince Young was going at that point, whether you give him 55 yards or 75 yards to go, he's going to move Texas down the field. If they get the first down, the game's over.
So Texas would have one chance, down by 5. This is a 3rd and 12 play. Quan Crosby makes the catch. He's short of the first down, but a 5-yard face mask penalty on USC moves the ball into first down position for Texas on this final drive. Final minutes to go. Guess what? Look at that. They can't tackle him out of bounds.
And he gets out of bounds, saving timeouts.
But when he wins the game with his run a little while, it's unbelievable on the sideline the way he runs. Unbelievable.
That's what's great is he mixes in the throws underneath with a nice touch along with his threat of scrambling.
First time, Linus Swede, a touchdown catch at Ohio State. Juggles it just out of bounds. Good coverage by the freshman over there. So, Texas on 3rd and 5. Linus Swede over the middle. He tried to thread it in between 2 DBs, couldn't get it. So, 4th and 5 at the 9-yard line for Texas. The national championship on the line in this play. And it's Vince Young showing his talent, scampering into the end zone for a touchdown. Texas takes the lead with 19 seconds to go.
How fitting. The national championship, the entire season of 2005 comes down to 4th and 5, and number 10 makes the play for Texas to win the national title.
How sweet for Mac Brown. Not too long ago, they said he couldn't win the big one. Had never won a conference title in his career until about a month ago. Takes the Big 12, and of course, takes the national championship 13-0 for Texas, and Vince Young, surprise at surprise, named the game's most outstanding player. 30 of 40 as a passer for 268 yards. And look at Young's total yardage in the BCS championship game, more than 105 yards more than Ken Dorsey's previous record. You guys have said it. You've never seen a greater performance by a quarterback in a championship game.
I don't think I've ever seen a performance better than a quarterback ever in a clutch situation. I thought Roger Staubach was the best quarterback I'd ever seen in the Navy, but this guy's better. Remember one thing, he loves this place. Last year, he had 4 touchdown runs, 1 touchdown pass when he beat Michigan. All right. I'm telling you, Kirk, this guy's got to go to the pros. He's got nothing else to prove. They should take him #1 in Houston, trade David Carr.
It's his hometown.
His hometown.
Beautiful.
Get somebody else. Let him be the quarterback.
Got it all figured out. You know what, though? It's funny to watch when the game is on the line, the pressure's on the line. That's the thing about number 10 that I think guys always got to remember that. Not just the numbers, but it's always when the game's on the line, the leadership that he came up with.
It reminds you of Columbus, didn't it?
Reminded me a lot. That last drive against Ohio State, game on the line, and he makes the plays to win it.
You got big Jonathan Scott back there. Casey Sutter, the Texas lineman, has showed up. These are Vince Young's protectors. These guys are the blockers for those Texas running backs. Come over here.
Hook 'em on.
Get the mic over here.
Get the mic over there.
Casey Sutter, talk about your quarterback. Talk about your quarterback, Vince Young, tonight, bringing guys from 12 points down to the final 5 minutes.
It's most like you never see a fear in his eye. He's always on top of his game. He's real sharp, and I wouldn't want another quarterback in the world.
What was going on in the huddle when you guys were trying to mount this comeback the last couple of drives?
He was just being himself. You know, he's a real calm. He's always calm. He never panics, and it was just regular old Vince.
How sweet is this for Texas? Most of the talk have been about USC for the last month and their dynasty.
It's about, I'm just saying it's about time we get our respect, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think Texas has earned plenty of respect along with the national championship. The big Longhorn Hogs behind us here, a big reason why Vince Young was able to do what he was able to do. And no surprise hearing that Vince Young was cool and calm in the huddle as Texas is mounting a comeback. Matt Leinart, of course, throughout his career has been cool and calm. This just the second loss in 40 career starts. Here's Matt Leinart at the podium after a very tough-to-take defeat.
It's a great game. I kind of got mixed emotions, but we went out, we gave it our best shot. Just came up half a yard short, on a 4th down. So.
Were you all 4 points for the 4th down?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe we punt, we played with field position, but you just got to go. We went for the win right there and to keep the clock going, and we didn't convert. So.
Is that just the style you guys have been going with all this time? Go for the win.
We feel, we were moving the ball on them the whole game. We felt like we could run it, and we were inches short. So. No, I think we moved the ball awesome. The fumble by Reggie and then the interception by. We were in the red zone 5 times in the first half and scored once, and should have scored all 5 times. And I tip my hat to them, but I think our offense we did all we could, and we moved the ball. We ran all over them. We threw all over them when we could, but it's a tough game. So.
The way you guys lost made it more difficult.
It's difficult if you lose or whatever. It doesn't matter the way you lose. So, it's a well-fought game. It's a hard-fought game. In these types of games, anything can happen. And we fell short by half a yard, but we still feel like we're champions. What we've accomplished over the last 3 years is something that probably will never be done. And I know the team coming back next year is gonna. There's a lot of guys coming back, and it'll be really hard to stop next year as well.
Right now, does it feel like you guys lost this game, or that Texas won it?
I feel like we lost the game. I give a lot of credit to Vince Young and Texas, but we had the game won. We turned the ball over first half, and I feel like we did all that we could, and missed some tackles, but that's the way it goes. When you got a freakish athlete like Vince Young who threw the ball on the money all night, ran the ball, and pretty much was their whole offense. It's tough to tackle a guy like that, but Yeah, I just said congrats, you know, and told him I'll speak with him soon. So.
Man, you called him a freakish athlete. Talk about that. When you're on the sideline, you watch him perform.
I mean, he's so big and strong, and yet he's a fast like a running back, you know. And it's not just he's fast; he's shifty. You know, he makes guys miss. So it's tough. You know, it's tough to prepare for that. It's tough to stop that. But you know, we held him in check. Sometimes, you know, he broke some long runs, but you know, we gave up one play in the end that, you know, he got in. So.
What did you do the second half? I think that's your own game.
I don't know. I mean, I thought we called a great game. We made a lot of third downs. Like I said, I think our offense, you know, and we did a lot that we could. We converted. We kept the ball going. And we got going in the second half. But it just goes back and forth. And you know, one play, a fourth down, where you know we don't convert, where we go for it and we don't get it. So.
Matt, you came back your senior year.
One of the all-time winners in college football goes out with a loss. All streaks have to come to an end, and all dynasties have to die. It took a very great team and a great quarterback to do it here. But I think an important streak that was snapped, besides the 34 straight wins for SC, the 5 straight scoring drives. You heard Leonard say they had it really going on offense. 5 straight scoring drives, 4 straight touchdown drives in the second half until that drive that came up short on 4th down. What about Pete Carroll's decision not to punt Texas deep, but up by 5 to go for it at the 45-yard line on 4th and 2?
Well, that's Pete Carroll's. That's his nature. I mean, he was going to win a national, right? He's going to win a national championship. He's not going to punt the ball. He's going to stick it right at him, and Texas just wanted it more at the end and stuck that Lindell White. I don't criticize the call at all. I think the guy went for the national title and should have gone for it.
I want to remember, if I remember right, Texas had 3 timeouts when they elected to go for it on 4th down and 2. When everybody's going to question Pete Carroll, remember what Vince Young had done the 2 previous drives. He was moving the ball up and down the field. In my opinion, if Pete Carroll goes for this and he gets the first down, more likely the game is over. If he punts the ball, sure, Vince Young has a little further to go, but he still has 3 timeouts, and he's going to move the ball down the field 55 yards or 70 yards. Either way, it's not going to matter. So you almost have to go for that, and as Lee said, that's his personality.
That's his personality.
There was another decision, though. After Texas scored to take the lead, USC's defense appeared to be confused. They had to burn their final timeout before Texas tried the 2-point conversion. They make it, so it's a 3-point game. USC got close to getting into field goal range at the end of the game, very close after Bush ran the ball out to the 43-yard line. Had they had that timeout left, you can throw the ball down the field, give Danilo a chance to maybe force overtime.
That's right, or the ball would have been intercepted, and they'd have lost the game.
Yeah, but I
mean, I don't think he can do second guessing on timeouts, but I do say one thing, and I'm agreeing with Kirk. Pete Carroll's personality is why he went for 4th down. I wouldn't have gone for it, but I'm different. But this guy, boom.
We went to Notre Dame game. It was 4th down and a long one in his own 25-yard line, and he went for it. So that's who he has been. But if you do look at the timeout at the end, let's just say you don't call the timeout. There's some confusion. They make it, or there's 12 men on the field, whatever it might be, and eventually they're going to get the 2 points. I'd rather save that timeout and give the 2 points away just to give Matt Leinart a chance. Who knows? A chance to
very disappointed that his team was unable to win a 3rd straight national championship.
Of course. You know, if you know me, if I were to leave and Lindell were to leave, we definitely, you know, expect him to be back competing for another national championship. You know, because Coach Carroll's a great coach, and you know, you can believe, you know, he's always going to have his team prepared, you know, for a long season and you know, to get back to games like this. So.
Reggie, what are the emotions that come with knowing that this could be your final college game?
Just, you know, obviously I was sad. You know, it was everything. You know, it was sad and you know, obviously we wish we could have, you know, take some of those plays back and those mistakes back but you know, everybody, I believe, you know, gave everything they had, and you know, as long as, you know, we know we gave everything we had, that's all we can do. You know, we give everything we got on the field, leave it out on the field, and you know, live another day. So.
How will you look back at the past 3 years and what you guys have accomplished?
We definitely won't hold our heads down about nothing, about anything. You know, we were able to do something, you know, that was special. We were able to win tons of games in a row, and that's a special thing. You know, nobody can ever take that away from us. And you know, it's unfortunate that we didn't get to capitalize the season, you know, with the win and the national championship, you know, here in Los Angeles. And which would have just made it even sweeter. But like I said, in these types of situations, you still got to hold your head up, and we can't be ashamed about anything that we've done, because we definitely worked our butts off to get here, and we deserve, everything.
Reggie, do you have a timetable in your mind about your decision with the NFL?
No, not at all.
You said before the season playing EA Sports, the only way to stop you was with cornerback blitzes. It looked like the Texas run support from the secondary was key. Was that pretty much what we saw tonight?
They did a good job, I think somewhat, but, still Lindell, was very effective today in his running the ball. I don't feel like, I really got it, into a rhythm today. Like I said early, they were doing a great job, and, we just had to keep pounding the ball, and, eventually, the hole started opening up, obviously, with the way Lindell was able to run around today. We obviously were very surprised, because we usually make those plays, and we pride ourselves in being able to, to make those types of plays, when it's crucial, when the game's on the line. So.
Reggie, can you talk about, I asked Pete about this, 134 in a row. It was a great run. You know it has to end eventually, although maybe you weren't going to be here when it ended. Can you talk about this when it finally does come to an end? You've done so many great things. Can you appreciate what you did at the same time being disappointed?
Like I said, definitely we can appreciate everything that we've been able to do up to this point. We don't feel like we should hold our heads down about anything. It's been a great run, and we've done some special things here, and nobody can ever take away those wins from us. That long winning streak that we've had, and the championships that we've won over the last 2 years, and it's still special. So I don't think we should be ashamed about anything. We definitely worked our butts off to get to this point right now. So.
And as hard as it might be, can you talk about you watched
Obviously, when you have a game this high scoring, this critical, there's going to be a lot of plays that are talked about. I hope people don't go back and look at that one play that Reggie Bush made where he tried to lateral the ball. It ended up being a fumble, because despite the fact that Reggie Bush didn't have a typical type game, he was still close to 200 yards of total offense, and Texas' game plan was to stop him.
And they did a wonderful job of not stopping him, but slowing him down in his football game. I think you look at his magnificent 26-yard touchdown run, that's Reggie Bush. When he tried to fumble the ball or pitch the ball away, the 36-yard run after that, not so much. But watch Reggie Bush. This is the dynamic he gives you. He can stop on a dime and cut to the outside. Then he accelerates and gets to the end zone. That's the Reggie Bush that you expected to see in this game. But if you look at what the Texas defense was able to do in this game, they gave up the one big play to Reggie Bush. After that, they kind of shut him down.
That play right there was unbelievable, because Texas defense can fly, and he left them. He ran past those guys like they were slow. They had the angle on. I'm sitting there thinking, holy mackerel, that dude's fast. But for me, Lindell White for USC was the guy. Short yardage goal line. He kept thumping Texas. He kept the ball away from Vince Young. Lindell White, to me today, he showed me something. You know what? Lindell White's one of those guys that when he gets his feet going, he looks like your old teammate Jerome Bettis.
We were checking him out in pregame, guys, and looking at him. He got a little bit of a gut on him, but not right here. He was so powerful down in the red zone. It's like there was cheeseburgers in there, something he wanted to get him. He found a way to get his nose in the end zone. It's ironic that USC, a team that had tried to play keep away, had to rely on some depth, and it wasn't Matt Leinart, it wasn't Reggie Bush, it was their third stringer in the bullpen, Lindell White. Texas beat an extremely talented USC team, and that just goes to show that Vince Young, the way he shined today, with all those players on the field, is that much more incredible.
And I thought, you know what, I thought USC stepped it up. I didn't think that USC could play as good a game as they played out here in this Rose Bowl, but they went out tonight and they stepped it up to the championship team that they are. Pete Carroll and his football team are miraculous for how they've been able to endure having that bullseye on their chest. Emotionally, they had to get ready every week.
And I think the biggest thing for Texas, they changed the game around in my mind, was in the second quarter with about 6 minutes ago, what Matt Brown did. They went to the no-huddle, hurry-up offense. They got to the line of scrimmage. They called their plays and executed their plays. And what that did, it limited USC to change their players defensively. They had to keep the same players on the field to play. They couldn't change defensive packages. And I think that was a big edge to Texas. And not only that, it changed the tempo of the game for the offense for the Longhorns.
It did. I mean, this is something that has never happened before. A quarterback with 200 yards rushing. Vince Young was the MVP of this game on the offensive side. And you know what? overall as well. And after the game, he was obviously ecstatic.
That's what we did as an offense, the whole team. I mean, Ron Carter with that big catch, David Thomas, some big catches. I mean, all them guys contribute to that whole drive, not just me.
Vince, you came in here, they have the 34-game streak. Everyone's talking about them, maybe not enough about you guys. Can you talk about what you feel you guys proved here tonight?
To me, it's not really all about that. To me, them guys, they are a great, phenomenal football team, man. Matt, he did a great job tonight. I was very impressed by Bush speed and Lindell. He was running raw real good. And Jared, he was out there making some big catches. And on the defense, them boys at me. I mean, every time I released the ball, I was getting nicked or something like that. So, I mean, they're a great football team to me. Overall, to us, we just had to go out there and play our game like we've been playing all season.
And what does it mean to you to be at the top? Texas has been trying for this since 1970, before you were born.
As a team, it means a whole lot. As one of the leaders of the University of Texas football team, it feels real good because I just know how much hard work we put in to get to this point, and I'm just proud of my seniors to let them guys go out like this.
Vince, can you walk us through those last two plays? I think you went over the middle, tried to hit the sweet over the middle. Describe that play, and then of course.
I just seen the free safety kind of shift to the right a little bit, and I kind of draw him off a little bit harder, and I try to give Lamas a catch, and he didn't come up with it. But on fourth down, you're thinking, what you gonna do? And I went to all my progressions, and no one was open, and D-line kind of went inside and gave me the edge a little bit, so I took off with it.
When did you know you had that hole to get in there?
Just about, I came out my third option, and I seen he wasn't open, and I kind of looked back again and see was Lamas pinning him with his body. Wasn't nothing there, so I just took it down.
Is this emotional for you? You look so calm and cool, collected. When the clock ran out, what was going through your heart and mind?
When I was looking, I was like hoping these guys weren't getting field goal games and going overtime. But as a leader and made that big play, man, I was just excited, man. Just to see my guys happy and my coaches and coaches' wives. I mean, just to see the fans. That's what I love playing football for, because all the moments right there, just enjoying the moment with the fans and my teammates. What I've been thinking all year, we behind. Do whatever it takes. Heart. It's all about heart, focus, poise. Don't nobody get frustrated with each other. Everybody knows that when Pino made them kicks, missed them kicks, them big kicks, we was all telling him, man, hey, don't worry about it. It's a team thing. And we went out there and made plays, and he made some kicks for us.
You played a really good game last year. Where does this one rank for you?
This rank real high for me right now, because I'm going against a great football team, and the things that I did to go out there and the things that we did as a team, man, I'm just so proud of them guys, and I'm just proud of myself as well. Just paying attention a whole lot to Coach Davis and the game plan that he wanted, and we went out there and executed plays pretty good this day.
If this is your
I can't really understand. All I know is that me and my parents got to sit down and make the best decision.
This was a night for champions. It was a championship night in all ways. Two teams went out and battled the whole time to the final second in great fashion, in honorable fashion. And Texas did a great job. They did a wonderful job all night long. And we had to keep scoring, outscore them, and we weren't able to at that last there. And Mac Brown and his whole staff and the whole program, they were great champions tonight. And if you have to hand it over and step aside for somebody, that's a heck of a team to do that too. And I'm very, very proud of this football program and this team and the players that have led this team over the last few years. And we walk out of the Rose Bowl tonight very disappointed. We had a real chance to win again, and obviously we had two big series. But if we just stop and get off the field, we walk out here with a win. If we make a fourth down, we win. And but on this night, it's Texas's night, and they deserve it. They earned it. They played a heck of a football game. I thought that Vincent Young was extraordinary. He was an extraordinary talent out there tonight, and he was obviously the difference in the football game. It's obvious why they were so effective this year, and such a great team playing around him. They've got good players all across the board, but he's really off the charts, and that's a heck of a football player.
Question right here. Yeah, Pete, on the fourth down there late in the game, what was the thinking to, instead of punting it or going for it? I mean, what were you thinking at that point? I mean,
Well, if we make a first down, I think the game's over, basically. And so rather than, I mean, we had just seen them, you know, what they had done the series before, and it didn't really matter where they were going to start in that regard. If we had a chance to make that first down, that's where you win the football game. And that moment flashes by in an instant, but that's our moment right there to seal the win. It was a night when we needed to do it on offense, and we weren't able to. Then we had our chance to stop it and couldn't do it on defense. So, you know, I think it's a very clear decision. I don't think there's any question about it.
Question over there.
Best performance you've seen by an individual against you ever?
Yeah, without question, that was a phenomenal night by one guy and the football team. I don't want to take away from their Texas championship football team. They did a great job, but that's an extraordinary football player.
Question.
Pete, you've had the great success, 34 in a row, and obviously it has to come to an end eventually, although you were hoping it wasn't tonight. Can you talk about your feelings right now, the disappointment that obviously you must have?
Yeah, of course I am. You know, that hasn't really hit me yet, to tell you the truth. You know, this has been about excellence all throughout for the years. It hasn't been about, you know, walking out with a national championship. It's about the level that you perform at week in and week out, and the standards that you maintain and hold yourself to. And we've done all of that, and we did it again tonight. You know, I have no problem with what happened tonight. And in fact, our football team battled like we always do, and we didn't think that we thought there was going to be a second left on the clock to kick the field goal. I mean, that's how we were thinking, and we would have done it. You know, so you know, it's a very rare opportunity that we have dealt with here, and we've loved, and I've loved every minute of it. It's been so much fun to do something that hasn't been done before, and to work at it. The challenge now is to show who we really are and how we come back and get going again. So it's pretty hard to really describe what the feeling is like. One of the thoughts I've had all along is who's going to get it when they get you. You know, who are you going to give it to? And I don't mean to give it because they took it. I don't want to take anything away from them. But who's going to take it? And this was an excellent football team that we played. Across the board, they were loaded. They had a great season. They had all of the statistics and all of the performers to back it up, and the coaching staff and the run and the whole thing. And they're a worthy team. You know, it makes me feel a little bit differently than if we lost to somebody that we should beat. You know, that was that kind of night. We got the ball again, we'd have gone down and scored. Is the way we felt, and obviously we went right back again. So. Sorry, I didn't give you a very good answer, but that's what it felt like.
Question in the back row. Go ahead.
Sorry. Pete, you really went with the blitz on their last series, almost every play. It looked like you were going to try to put it in your hands and force the action a little bit that way.
Yeah, just basically when faced with an opportunity. I mean, I've been in a million of these situations before, and you know, it's how you want to dish it out in that situation, how you want to deal with it afterwards. The last thing I want to do is sit back and wait and see if it's going to happen. I want to go get it and look for my opportunities. I was trying to fill up the rush lanes, you know, so that he couldn't escape, because he could have run anytime he wanted to, you know, like as he did earlier in the night. And so I thought our best chance was to get that done and fill the rush lanes with our pressures. And so that's what we were trying to do.
Question over there.
Pete, I'm sure you schemed to stop Vince Young. You knew what he could do. What can anybody do to stop a guy with that kind of talent?
It's very difficult. You know, I mean, I'm on the record telling you guys how hard it is to stop running quarterbacks. This is as difficult a quarterback as you can face, because he's so fast. You know, it's not just that he's a scrambler, it's that he's a fast guy and he's big. He probably made us miss a dozen tackles tonight, you know, and we slipped right off the guy. And that's just an enormous factor. Plus, he threw the ball quite well again. You know, he had a great first half. I don't know what his numbers were in the second half. But he had a great first half, just taking what we gave him, you know, and he's a heck of a football player now.
Question right there. Go ahead.
Pete, in all those situations you've been in, have you ever been in a situation where you felt you couldn't stop a guy, even if he had to go 80-plus yards to score?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I played against Dan Marino for years. I felt like that a lot of times.
Question right here.
Why the decision to go for it on 4th and 2 and not punt in that situation? And take me through the play and what you saw.
No, it's for us at the time. It was exactly the right thing to do. I mean, we want to win the game right there. You know, you've seen us go do that in the past. We got a chance to win the game. We're gonna go for it. And you make that first down, you win the football game, I think. So, you know, you're gonna have to stop him anyway. If you punt the ball, they're gonna, you know, how far are you gonna kick it right there? You're gonna kick it, if you kick it in the end zone, you kick a 20-yard punt. It's not even close. The decision, in my opinion, in our way of thinking, is you're going for it all the time.
Go ahead.
Pete, can you talk about the frustration as a defensive coordinator in that situation, trying to stop an offense?
Oh, well, unfortunately, I've lived in and out of these, and we've won them and we've lost them over the years, and I've been in this situation a lot. That's reminiscent of an NFL game that so often come down to the last drive, and you know, so it's extremely frustrating, you know, because and particularly when you know what the problem is and you can't do anything about it. You know, we try to get after him. Even when we looked like we were going to sack him, we didn't sack him, you know. If you go back, I'm not sure if it might have been Brandon Ting, I'm not sure, but we had a shot to turn the ball over. He threw one up for us, and their guy knocked the ball away from us and made a nice play. But that was our chance to win the football game on defense right there, and we were just looking for one more, and we couldn't find it, you know. It was too good.
Go ahead.
What kind of adjustments did you make at halftime that you were able to get the ball in the end zone more and kind of put up some more points?
That's just the way we play, really. You know, I mean, it's the stuff that we do always. You know, we did some things differently in the second half, and it worked out okay for the most part. But when they just got back to throwing every down, then we would just, you know, his factor of running made the difference. And so on offense, you know, we knew we could run the football. We had blown a couple opportunities, you know, going down the field. We gave the ball to him, you know, a couple times. On the interception down the end zone, and also on the fumble that was crazy. And, you know, Reggie just tried too hard on that play, and he, you know, he regretted it forever, but he just, you know, tried too hard. We gave the ball. So we knew we could move it. So it was just a matter of going back and taking our time and being patient to run the ball and mix the passing game in that would come off that run game.
Question over there. Coach, so many times your team has went down this season at halftime, and in the second half you come back and really put the pedal to the metal and beat teams up. Texas today didn't let that happen. Can you talk a little bit about the Longhorns in that factor?
Yeah, we have. I mean, that was very characteristic of how we play, you know, and come out so well in the third quarter. We did it. You know, we did that again. But it was the, you know, 2 drives at the end. We couldn't, you know, we didn't stop them. So sometimes the momentum of our burst in the third quarter sets us apart from the other team. But they became more effective when they had to throw the ball every down, because now he's running as well, and that actually helped them. So it's the factor that he brings that makes a difference on this team. You know, they have good players all across the board, but he's so unique. He's an X factor. You know, you can't tell when he's going to do what he's going to do, because he just takes off running, and that's the issue. And we weren't able to stop when we had the chance.
Back here in the far right-hand corner.
Pete, at this time right now, does it feel like you lost this game or that Texas won this game?
No, I'm not going to take anything away from Texas at all. You know, I'm not. You know, we had our chances to win the game. We had the 4th down situation. We had the ball in our hands on a pick. You know, we had plenty of shots to do this. We had the whole sequence of those last 2 drives that they had the football where we could have stopped them any one time. We needed to turn the football over there to get it done. You know, it's as simple as this. Look at the turnover ratio for what happened in this game. You know, that's how it goes. It always does. And we understand that philosophy. And in this night, we needed to get it a couple more times. The ball was all over the field. I mean, we had 5 different times that when the ball's on the field, it seemed like that we didn't come up with it. That would have won us the football game in itself. But I don't even remember what the question was.
Left-hand corner.
Coach Carroll, I know this is really early, but how are you feeling about the coming season and, you know, losing some of the very powerful seniors you have right now?
Well, I thought about it a lot, as a matter of fact, you know, because we have guys dealing with the issue of leaving and all of that. But where my thoughts come back to is this football team right now. Yeah, that this is a program that has found a level of excellence and a level of performance and giving of their will to us that's extraordinary. And we're going to go right back to work and see how it comes together. We got great young players coming in to offset the guys that are leaving, as we've done in the past. We've always lost great players, but we've replaced them. And so our recruiting efforts are extremely important right now. The kids that are on board to come in and fill these spots need to get ready. You know, let's go. We need them, and you know, our recruiting efforts are obviously enormous right now. We have to finish it off and have another great year, and then get excited about coming back to spring football and get going again.
Question in the back here.
Pete, you talk about how much you think you left out there in the first half in terms of opportunities when you guys got in the red zone, and how much that affected, you know, how far much ahead you could have been at halftime.
Yeah, that was a huge factor in this game, in that we should have 21 points in the first half. We're down there doing it, knocking on the door to knock it in, and we screwed it up. So that's it's just the power of the turnover again. You know, that's how it works. And you know, the one that Matt throws, the free safety, makes a great play to pick that ball off. You know, and down in the corner to Stevie. They earned that one. We gave them the other one. We gave them the football. You know, and that's crazy. That's so far out of line with the way we think and perform that I can't even tell you I can't even imagine how to explain that one. But I do know why it happened. Reg was just trying to get a touchdown.
2 more questions. Go ahead.
Pete, I apologize. You probably answered this question about 12 times, but could you just walk us latecomers through the 4th down call, why you made it,
Yeah,
what you were thinking?
It's just real simple. It's really simple. The series before, they had great success moving down the field. If they get the ball, I don't know what yard line it was, but it's the 40 or so. Whether they get it there, we try to kick it down there and kick it 20 yards farther, it ain't going to make a big difference right now. The difference is if you make that first down, then you're running and squatting on the football and to win the football game. And it's just unfortunate we didn't get it. You know, we missed it by, I don't know, how much was it? Was it like this? Yeah, it's 2 inches.
Last question here in the front.
Hey, Pete. Matt Leinart played his last game for you tonight. A lot has been made by Reggie Bush, Lendale, but talk a little bit about Matt and his impact the last 3 years, and especially this year.
Yeah, he's been a great champion. He's been a great leader. He's been a role model. He's been a blast to be around and to play with. I just hugging him up and I said, well, it's time, you know, and you know it and I know it. It's time to go, and it's an awesome feeling to know that you really have completed things and you've done everything you can do, and he did that. You know, he played fantastic tonight again, and you know, just too bad that he couldn't walk out of here as the Rose Bowl champ in all of that one more time. You know, it wasn't that he didn't do everything he could. You know, I think rarely you get an opportunity, you know, to see a guy in all of this glory be such an extraordinary kid, and he is that. He proved by modeling, you know, the decision to stay, and he should send a message to kids that that's the right decision to make. Matt's graduated. He's going to get paid a ton more money than he would have got last year, and he got to play for his college one more time, you know, I know he wouldn't trade these experiences for anything, and so he's a living example for other people, which makes him a great leader and almost in a small way an icon in this little world of college football. And we're very lucky that we've had the time with him. It's been great to be with Matty. He's got to be one of the all-timers. He's got to be. I mean, just by what he's done and all of that, you know. But you know, I don't know how to do that really, but I know he's a great one. He's one of the top few that ever played.
That's it. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Coach Brown.
Thank you very much. First, we want to thank Pasadena, the city of Pasadena and its officials, and the city of Los Angeles, and specifically the Rose Bowl people. We've just had a fabulous time out here for the last 2 years, and for the University of Texas to have never been to a Rose Bowl 2 years ago, and now to have played the University of Michigan down to the last play of the game, and Southern Cal, 2 storied programs to the last play of the game, and to win both games, winning 2 Rose Bowl championships and a national championship is really, really special, not only for our state, but also the University of Texas and the people of Texas. I'd also like to congratulate Pete, his staff, and Southern Cal. What they've done is phenomenal. And they were just as good tonight. That offense, we couldn't stop them. We could not get them off of the field. And we started thinking, we missed a field goal, we missed an extra point, and when we turned the game there in the 4th quarter, we knew we had to go 4 downs and 1 minute offense the entire 4th quarter because we couldn't stop them. And we did a better job the first half, but they stopped themselves a couple of times. But Lendale White, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart are great football players. Jarrett's a great football player, and that offensive line's as good as any in the country. So it was a great football game. It was really surreal when you're sitting there in the fourth quarter and you're down by 2 scores and you still think you're going to win. And you're playing a team that's won 34 straight games and you're at their place and momentum's turned and your defense is struggling. But we never, ever really thought we would lose the ball game. And that's what's made these two teams so special. Southern Cal's come back time and time and time again to win. And they came back in the third quarter like we expected them to. But the thing that I like best about our team tonight is the fact that they just kept playing. And they never got discouraged and they never gave up. Questions? Are we here? Or
Okay.
Wait for the mic.
First of all, congratulations. Can you talk about a bit what's going through your heart and mind? Texas has not won one of these since 1970. Desperate fans there have wanted this, and you finally did it against a team many people felt was the favorite going into the game, the 34-game streak and everything.
Well, there was a tremendous amount of pressure on them. Even though we had not won a national championship for many years, those streaks are a difficult thing, and now we're at 20 and leading the pack. And Pete's done a marvelous job of not talking about streaks and just continuing to win. And that's what we'll continue to do, we hope, is continue to win like Southern Cal did. But it's a real proud time to see those kids and to see assistant coaches who've worked so hard. DeLoss Dodd's been the athletic director 23 years maybe, and this is his first national championship in football, and he's had a lot of them in all the other sports. So we were kind of dragging behind. So it's good for us to have another opportunity to put a trophy in the trophy case. And lastly, with Coach Royal here, the first thing I'll do when I leave the tent is call him and make sure that I can congratulate him, because he's wanted us to win one for a long time, and this will be really special for him. My emotions right now are trying to make sure that our guys handle themselves in a classy manner, because you've got to learn to win, and this is new for us. We've won a lot of football games. I told the guys before the game and the pregame talk that I've been planning this one for 33 years. Now I really don't know what to say. So that's kind of where it is right now. What a neat time, what a special time for those kids and our coaches. I'm sure it'll be for me as I look back right now. I'm just so darn happy we came back and won, because I was mad that we fumbled and didn't stop them, and all those things that go through coaches' heads right now are pretty much in my mind.
Hi, Mac.
Hey, Austin.
Sincere congratulations.
Thank you.
I find it a little difficult to believe that you were at a loss for words in there, but I'll take your word for it.
This is a long way from Dallas. Yes.
Well put.
Thank you.
Could you just elaborate a little bit? You've been over this ground before, but I want to write about how it's been a two-way street with you and Vince. How he was the student, but he also had some things to teach you. Could you go over that again?
Well, the thing that we've tried to continue to do is learn each year. And within a year and a half ago, some people questioned whether Vince could be a major college quarterback or not. And now he's got two Rose Bowl Most Valuable Player trophies since that time.